Good afternoon, YouTube. Today we are going to be working on laying out a oil pan flange so I can dry sump the motor. The pan's going to be a lot shallower. It's only going to be about that deep, just enough to clear the crank. I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way. You could digitally measure it, put it on a CNC or even a drill press, but this is pretty thin plate. I can drill it straight enough by hand and cut it out with a bandsaw and grind it close. So some tools you're going to need to do this: some center punches, a complete set if you got one. Who knows what size oil pan bolt holes they are. A scribe. I've got a piece of tungsten here that works excellent as a scribe if you got a spare piece of tungsten. Or they make scribes that you can buy from the store for pretty cheap as well. Instead of a scribe, you could do it with a marker, but Sharpie tends to smear and kind of wash off with any sort of chemical, really, on something as smooth of a surface as aluminum. I also use layout fluid along with my scribe, therefore I can see the line way better. I highly recommend doing it that way. It looks fantastic. It's high contrast. You can definitely see what you're doing and figure out what needs to be done. Here, gonna need some steel or some aluminum plate. You can do it out of steel. It doesn't really matter depending on what you're trying to do. You obviously need your oil pan, a drill, some drill bits, and I believe that's about it. I always say let's get to it, but let's get to it. I got it all punched out. I don't know how well you can see this, but every little hole has been center punched. They may not be perfect, but they are just clearance holes. It's not that big of a deal. Granted, obviously the closer you get, the better it's going to be, but in this case scenario, it's not the end of the world. So I got the saw set up. It's going to be a little tricky. I've only got about 3 inches to work with in between the saw blade on the side of the saw. I'm going to have to flip it around and do a little bit of finagling to make it work on this saw, but I don't want to bring it somewhere else to have them do it. So let's get to it. I got it pretty well cut out. It's not perfect yet. Obviously, this is just kind of a rough cut. I got some places a little closer than others. Obviously, the closer you get to cutting, the less grinding you're gonna have to do. For all those people that are gonna say, why don't you just have somebody like CNC cut that? Nobody makes anything like this. Measuring it, having it cut would be quite expensive to set up a file. It doesn't seem like there's enough interest to do that and to profit off of it, so I don't really want to take the time to do it. So yeah, this is pretty close. I got all the holes drilled, chamfered, nice and smooth. Obviously, I got to cut out the inside. It's going to be a little bit more of a task. Got to do it with this trusty jigsaw. Slow, loud, lots of vibrations, messy. Yeah, so that is for the first stage. I've got some more sheet up there. This is only going to be, I don't know, about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches deep of a pan, just enough to clear everything. I'm not sure if I'm going to have 2 or 3 scavenge sections in this pan. There aren't very many Dry Sump VR6s, but the guy that's making them is doing a 3-stage, or it's actually a 4-stage, so 1 pumping stage and 3 scavenge stages. The scavenge stages are just what pulls the oil back into your dry sump tank out of the pan. I'm wondering if I can do it in 2. This isn't going to be, you know, a full-blown race car. I'm not sure how necessary it is to have 3 scavenge stages, but I don't know. I'm doing some research, talking to a few people. We'll see what they say, people that have a little more experience in dry sump systems than I do, because I have none. This is the start. I did it at 1/4 inch. Should probably do it out of 3/8 or something a little thicker. I'm kind of scared this is going to warp quite a bit when I go to weld it. But I have to get another plate for my engine to transmission adapter plate that I'm also going to make. And I'm hoping I'll just be able to clamp this down to that, and that'll pull the majority of the heat out and keep it from warping too much. So
how's it going?
Oh, today I'm gonna cut out the inside of this flange. I know that basically the inside line of this whole pan is about 1/4 inch in from each one of these bolt holes. So I'm gonna mark that, kind of trace it with my scribe, and then start cutting it out. Got it roughly cut out. I'm gonna take it up to the engine, see how she fits, how she looks, see how close we are, what we got to take away. Yeah. Like I said, this is still a rough cutout, hence that, and the rough edges, just to get me close and figure out what we need to do. Right? As you can see, it all lines up pretty good. Doesn't look like I'm gonna have any clearance issues with anything. I can take down a little bit more. Oh, I mean, the pan on this thing can be, it's looking like it can be really shallow, so that's good. I might, you know, make it something like an inch deep. We'll see. Sorry, my voice is real loud. I'm right next to the camera, but I figured it's gonna work out pretty well. When I have to plug up this hole, I may plug up that hole, but I don't think I'll need to. So that would be the oil inlet for the block out of the pump. And then it comes down through here over into this, and that's gonna be blocked off. So I'm just gonna have my pump feed coming in here, and that's gonna feed through. I'm not 100% sure what I'm gonna do with this. This is the stock oil cooler that's ran off of the engine coolant. Not 100% sure what I'm gonna do there yet. Gotta do a little bit more grinding, grind this down, get it a little bit closer everywhere, clean it up, make it look pretty. Round off these edges. Just kind of do some finishing touches on it. And go from there. So yeah, then my next project is gonna be making the depth of the pan with, I got some 1/8 inch aluminum sheet here. Gonna do it with that. If you couldn't tell, that was kind of a pain in the ass. Had a dull blade on the saw to start. Tried like 17 other tools, nothing worked. Put a new blade on the saw, ripped through the rest of it like butter. So now this is gonna go through the slip roller and gonna shape it to the contours of that pan. So I don't know how well this will work out. I've got plenty of material if I fuck it up, so yeah.
Before you turn around and walk away. Hey, 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 I just wanna see you on my new crave. I can do my, I can do my, I can do my own thing. I can do my, I can do my, I can do my, I can do my own thing. I can do my, I can do my, I can do my, I can do my own thing. I can do my, I can do my, I can do my, I can do my own thing. I can do my, I can do my, I can do my, I can do my. Losing track of time, losing track of myself. I can make promises to get into your head. Hey, 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 I just wanna see you on my new crave. Hey, 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 I just wanna see you on my new crave. Before you turn around and walk away. wanna see you. I can feel my, I can feel my, I can feel my own thing. I can feel my, I can feel my, I can feel my own, I can feel my own thing. I can feel my what I do. I can feel my who I am. I can feel my, I can feel my own thing. I can feel my, I can feel my who I am. I can feel my own, I can feel my own thing. I can feel my, I can feel my, I can feel my own, I can feel my own thing. I can feel my.
What's up, guys? Oh, just about 3/4 of the way welding up. Well, not welding up, but tacking up this pan. Figured I got a little weird area right here. I don't know if you can see it. It's just kind of hard to get those bends in there, so I wanted to see if I could make it go, sorry, straight across like that. So I brought it over here to my motor, you know, no big deal. Go to set my pan on it, no big deal. Except, I don't know if you guys can see what I fucking did here. Maybe if I line it up a little better, it'll make it a little more obvious. Yeah. So, if you need me to explain it, I welded on the wrong side of the fucking flange. Sorry for the language, but kind of irritating. So now I gotta cut either each one of these tacks off. Oh, make sure it's flat. Fucking, oh man. And just fucking redo it. That's what I get for not double checking my work before I get started, you know, like cut or measure twice, cut once. Yeah, I didn't double check this before I started welding it together, so that was my bad. I don't even know what to say. Fuck, it sucks. I spent a little while getting that to fit perfectly around. Still got a little bit of trimming of the pan to do, but yeah, so that's how my day's going. See it. It's the next day. Got it all ground off. You guys already seen the video, you know what I did. Gonna take it up and bring it to the motor, and I mean, it has to be right this time, right? It's not a whole lot. There's one of two ways. Oh yeah. That is much better. Much better. So that's how the pan's gonna look. Sitting on the motor. I wanted to see if right here, this little bend right here is gonna be kind of hard to do. I'm gonna try to see if I can cut this corner over here. I'm not building a show quality car at this point. I mean, I want it to look good, but it doesn't have to be 100% perfect now. If I want to build another pan or have somebody else build a pan, I'll probably do it eventually. But right now, I think this is gonna work. Plenty of clearance, as you can see. I mean, just absolutely plenty. I made it a little bit thicker because I was worried about things coming down and touching the oil. If it's sitting in the bottom of the pan, not getting sucked up right away. Shouldn't happen, but if it does, it'll rob some power. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. So let's get to the rest of it.